Okay, square foot gardening bed. I've got onions in this bottom corner with 4 rows of lettuce behind, or 4 blocks of lettuce rather, curly kale, purple sprouting, and Brussels sprouts. Now for some reason the second plant in is tiny compared to the others. As you can see from the others, they're 18 inches, nearly 2 foot high. This little thing's not reached 4 inches yet, and I don't really know why. Everything's been done exactly the same way, but for some reason it's not growing. Now these are inside a cage to stop them from getting attacked by pigeons, and mostly from cabbage whites. Did find a few caterpillars, the green and brown hairy ones, on the curly kale this morning, but only a handful on one plant on the edge, so obviously it's been got at on the edge, and that's about it. Moving on, we have some kale. No we don't, it's charred, but anyway, that's sort of spilling over the beds at the moment. Then we've got Savoy cabbage, 4 leaf greens. The other side of that I've got some pak choy planted, I'll show you in a second when I go around the other side. Over here we've got some courgettes. Now these courgettes have only been going in the ground for a short while, and at the moment there's not a lot going on them. We've got one there which is a baby, tiny thing, hasn't flowered yet. That's an all green bush. This is courgette Nistelrond, and down at the bottom down there, I don't know if you can see it, there's one tiny one just starting. Then we have some peas and some French beans. Now all these are supposed to be climbers, but 3 of them are climbed. Sorry, 3 of them haven't climbed, and one has. One's right up to the top here. Now, also in there, planted spinach in there, 9 spinach. There's only 4 coming up so far. Don't know why, because the other bed they're not so bad. Then this one there, underneath the cabbage leaf, and 9 turnips. Now we planted 2 in each hole there, in each station, and it looks like every single one's germinated, so we've got some thinning to do. Coming around this side, we have another cabbage. Now we've got some spinach here. As you can see, this spinach is a lot bigger. It's actually coming out a lot more. And then we have pak choy. Now these greens, lovely though they are just taking over everything, so I'm going to have to cut them back today. Another cabbage there, and a stray tomato that came off earlier. Right, bed number 2. Right, bed number 2. It's got my Heath Robinson contraption on it to allow me to get in and actually move things around while I'm weeding, etc. Now in here I've got some more Savoy cabbage. Now these were put out without any protection at first, apart from slug pellets, because I didn't think about pigeons. Pigeons came down and decimated loads of them. So as you can see though, they've mostly recovered. Also in there I've got the devastated trays of other brassicas that are left out. Pigeons got them first, then the slugs, then the caterpillars. They're in there just in case I can recover anything from them. Not really hopeful, apart from a couple. I've also planted some tomatoes in here. These were grown from brought from plants from home. There's a little chilli there, tomato, chilli in the middle, another tomato. As you can see, there's quite a bit of fruit on it, and some of it's starting to turn already. But that's it. Now, the rest of the bed, a couple of rhubarb. Those are stepdad Ken's. He just wanted somewhere to put them in before his bed is ready, because where we're going to put it is rather wet. So, we've also got some white onions, which have been slug munched, some beetroot, which has survived everything so far, red onions, slug munched, leaf beet, pigeon munched, and a couple of comfrey plants that were given to us by Di. They've been munched by whatever, I haven't got a clue really. Now, look at the rest of the allotment. We've got another raised bed here which is ready. That's been double dug, loads of manure in it, just really waiting now for it to settle. Another raised bed, and another one. Now these 2 raised beds have just got cardboard and manure down at the moment to hold them. They're going to be dug later. And then we have a 3rd or 6th raised bed even, which at the moment is rather sloppy at the bottom. We've got a lot of water on the plot, which I'll come over and show you. As you can see here, lots of water in the bottom. and over here it's like the Somme. It really is horrendous. It's not the sort of thing you really want to walk on without duck boards down, really. This end of the allotment is fine, so I'll go up here for a second. This is my famous muck pile. There's about 6 tons of muck there, maybe 7. And I've planted a couple of pumpkins in it, so we'll have a look at those now. Here's the first one. This is jack-o'-lantern. It's been in for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks. As you can see, it's doing quite well. I grew them in pots at home first of all and brought them down to plant out. And the vine is getting quite long. Now I've stuck a stake in, sorry, a bamboo cane at the end of the stake, the line of the vine, so I can tell if it grows. Now when I put it down, it was just touching. That was this morning. As you can see, it's now starting to grow past it, so it's grown while I've been here, and I've only been here for an hour and a half. Now I've also got a couple of fruit on here. I don't know if you can see that. It's a couple of small fruit there growing. Hopefully. Now my favourite one here is this one. This is a mammoth pumpkin. These are what they get the big pumpkins from. Not the Atlantic giant size, but not far off. Now as you can see, he's doing quite well. Yet again, another cane put in to mark the end of it, and in the middle, 2 lovely fruit. I'm not sure if they're going to develop or not, because I had one already in here which flower dropped off it, and we ended up with a tiny fruit that hasn't done anything since. But lovely flower on there. That's a male flower, so hopefully it's done its job and pollinated the others. Now then, quick look round the rest of my plot. Let me just get to the path. Right, this path here, I'm stood on here, is the boundary between the plots. You can see where I've managed to strim up to yesterday before I ran out of cable in the strimmer. All the way around there to the pond. The flag iris that you can see standing up there is the edge of the allotment. Another muck pile down to there. Now let's go have a look at the pond. Now the problem I'm having with this at the moment is that this top half where I'm walking now is quite nice, but the further over here I get, we have standing water and more standing water, and there's the Somme again. Now this is a quite nice little pond, covered in duckweed at the moment unfortunately, but hey, that's the way it goes. Keep scooping it out, but there's a colony of newts living in there at the moment, and well, they're breeding in there. They're not living in there because newts only go into the water to breed, I found by looking it up on the internet. I thought they lived in water, but apparently not. They're all over the plot, they're all over the allotment in fact, and that's actually quite nice. They're a protected species. You're not allowed to sell them, but you can move them or whatever, so you know, I could even catch them and take them home. Not that I'd want to. There's also a big frog lives around here somewhere, but I've not seen him this morning, but he's here somewhere. Now, because of all this horrible water we've got on the plot, as you can see, this is on bank holiday Monday morning. It rained heavily yesterday, but we're not doing so bad. It's not rained today, but as you can see, there's still standing water. We dug a trench, or a small gully, to try and divert the water off. A couple of gullies there, and then this gully carries on, because we're trying to dig away to the edge of the allotment where the land slopes away a little bit and try and get rid of the water. Now, that was a test pit I dug. That water, when we started, was about 18 inches deep. It's now gone down about 6 inches because of the drain we've dug. We've still got to find a way of getting the water to run off the allotment. At the moment it's not running particularly well, but let's just follow this trench down through the mini orchard. Doug had to dig all around the trees, as you can see. Now, the problem we're having is when this allotment was made, the company that was brought in by the council to sort it out simply dredged all the top off the allotment down to the bottom. So we end up with things like that stuck in the water, in the ground. and that. Now those were blocking where my trench needed to go, so I've had to dig them out, which hasn't helped. Now the trench itself continues, and then round here is where all the rubbish from the allotment got put. The land actually slopes upwards here, so I had to dig down quite a way to get through it. There's no flow of water at the moment, although there was when I first broke through, and it goes down into the corner and it's soaking away. Now I did have a flow coming through here, and it's actually gone. So it is working, but how successful it's going to be, I'm not really certain. And then I've got my junk pile of wood. This is all the wood that my stepdad Ken bought for me to make the raised beds with. He's been very, very helpful. He's been down here nearly as much as I have, helping out, digging holes, and basically getting the allotment sorted. So all in all, I'm actually very, very pleased with how things are going. Now then, one more thing. When I first came down here, the first week, me and my son Will dug a 4-foot square bed. It nearly killed us, and we planted potatoes in it. They all grew, and this is what's left of them. They've basically been attacked by slugs. They've got a bit of blight, I think. They've not been earthed up properly, because I'm still working on that. Oh, yeah, you can see there's slugs on them there, and one over there. So, well, we should have to wait and see what happens with these, but I think what I'm going to probably do is I'm going to earth them up again today, because I've got a couple of bags of compost spare. I've got to put the onions, the beetroots, the leaf beets, the comfrey in, get all those in and covered over. Then I'm going to harvest some of the leaf beets that are causing me so much problems in this first bed. It's actually huge. I made the mistake of putting 4 in a bed, in a square rather, when I really should have probably only put 1 or even 2 in. So I'm not going to make that mistake again, but it's just being a novice, not really knowing what I'm doing with it. Now, overall, I don't think we've done too bad. So, again, I hope that's interesting to some people. Maybe not, we shall see. But anyway, that's it for now. I'll have to sign off and get these in. I think the weather's closing in on us a bit here. But anyway, I will speak to you later.